Good evening. I'm Ashley Wheelerhold with your 1-minute news update. Business groups are calling Obama's job creation bill unnecessary and counterproductive. The bill allows for unsuccessful job applicants to sue if they were denied a job because they are unemployed. Worries have arisen that the bill will allow those who are unqualified for a job to sue on the premise of discrimination. The recently released SUNY report card shows improvements in graduation and retention rates in the past year. Research grants also increased, creating an increase of 770 jobs. On Monday, Ohio's Republican Governor John Kasich commuted his second man since June. Joseph Murphy was commuted to life without the possibility of parole. Kasich said he did so because Murphy was young at the time of the murder and had gone through a brutal upbringing. At least 271 people were injured when a Shanghai subway train crashed into a stopped train on Tuesday. The crash occurred due to a signal failure that forced trains on Line 10 to be directed via phone. Join me tonight for more on these and other news stories. Good evening. I'm Ashley Wheelerhold with your 1-minute news update. The man found near his overturned vehicle on the Niagara River has been identified by police to be Emery Harris. Police believe he accidentally drove into the river early Saturday morning. Chinese officials have been asked for the ages of China's skaters after their birthdays were discovered to differ on the Federation's website and the International Skating Union's bios of the athletes. Markson Gelman faces another procedural hearing on Monday after being arraigned Sunday in Brooklyn Criminal Court. Gelman was charged with robbery and assault. In Virginia this week, Rashad Matthew Riddick was arrested without incident on charges of murder. Victims were James Clark Jackson, Karen Lee Jackson, and Shantae Latrice Davis. It has not been released yet as to how they were killed. Join us tonight at 11 for more on these and other news stories. Good evening. I'm Ashley Wheelerhold.
And I'm Christine Anderson with your brief news update. 6,000 pieces of ancient carved ivory found between 1949 and 1963 have been divided between Iraq and the British Museum. The collection is being held by the British Institute for the Study of Iraq.
Arlington's North Point Baptist Church was crowded by over 200 people on Sunday. The crowd was mourning the death of 28-year-old pastor Reverend Clinton Bobson, who was killed in a robbery attempt. The push for change in North Africa and the Middle East has been gaining momentum in the past few days as protesters take stand in Egypt, Bahrain, and Jordan.
In Panama, a shipment that was designated for New York City was pulled aside at the international airport. The shipment, coming from Ecuador, contained a half-ton of illegally cut off shark fins.
Police in New York have been facing a number of standoffs this week, one coming from a man after he received an eviction notice. The 52-year-old man in one of New York's suburbs killed himself following a 7-hour standoff with police.
Finally, at least 167 U.S. citizens and 118 other foreigners have arrived at the Mediterranean island Malta Friday night. The U.S. government chartered a ferry to bring these people out of Libya to escape from the turmoil currently overtaking the North African region. I'm Christine Anderson.
A New York man, Khalid Ayo, was arrested on Thursday for trying to sell an alligator off of Craigslist. The man met with undercover detectives who saw the ad and charged the man with possession of a dangerous animal. Weather for the rest of the week will be rainy. You might need an umbrella. Tonight's low is about 40. I'm Ashley Wheelerhold.
And I'm Christine Anderson.
Join us tonight at 11 for more on these and other news stories. This is Ashley Wheelerhold at Edwards Air Force
Standby
Base
talent
in California for the landing of Shuttle Discovery.
Q talent.
20 times steeper than that of a standard commercial airliner.
We're here today on August 9th anticipating the re-entry of the Space Shuttle Discovery for the most recent journey into space. It's been 2 years since there's been a shuttle that went into space after Columbia Space Shuttle disaster happened in 2003. This return to flight shuttle is led by Elmira Commander Eileen Collins, and tensions are high here at the Edwards Space Center as we await the re-entry. The Discovery shuttle was NASA's third space shuttle orbiter, and it was the shuttle that brought the Hubble Space Telescope into space in April of 1990.
Altitude 17,000 feet. Just over 10 miles to touchdown for Discovery.
In 2002, the shuttle underwent 99 upgrades and 88 special tests, including new changes, which the crew is now testing.
Copy, runway.
The mission of this space shuttle mission was to deliver supplies to the International Space Station, and the major focus was to test the new safety techniques.
Looking down at Edwards Air Force Base. Discovery rolling on to align with the runway. Altitude 7,000 feet.
The crew on board the space shuttle went on 3 spacewalks when they were at the International Space Station during the 14-day excursion.
Altitude 5,000 feet. Discovery descending through 3,000 feet, 3 miles to touchdown.
This mission was extended for 1 day as the crew and the International Space Station crew deliberated on when the next mission would be. We're here at Edwards because the Cape Canaveral had bad
Landing gears
weather.
down and locked. Main gear
And
touchdown.
Discovery has touched down. Tensions have everybody breathing a sigh of relief as tensions decrease.
Shuttle crew photo in 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Commander Eileen Collins is in her 4th space flight.
Show crew photo.
This is her 2nd time acting as commander, and she's the only woman to do so far. Pilot on board is Jim Kelly.
Kill
This is
crew
his
photo.
2nd space flight. After returning tonight, Discovery will be returned to Kennedy Space Center atop a modified Boeing 747.
1 minute until close.
Rumors are afloat that Discovery will be chosen to follow in a fly-up return to flight mission. This has been an emotional day after what happened to Columbia 2 years ago. We can only wait to see
30
how
seconds,
the crew
start
reacts.
wrapping up.
Roger, wheel stop, Discovery, and congratulations on a truly spectacular test flight. Stevie Ray, Suichi, Andy, Vegas, Charlie, Wendy, and Eileen.
15 seconds. 10 seconds to close.
This
9,
concludes the Fox News
8,
Channel coverage
7,
of the landing of Space Shuttle
6,
Discovery.
5,
More news later
4,
on the Fox News
3,
Channel.
2, 1, roll close.
This is a Fox News special report.